Please welcome to the stage Jack and Kathy Newman.
All right, let's hear it for Jack and Kathy Newman.
Thank you much. This is a special honor for us and one we couldn't envision. It's particularly special because when we look at the list of folks who've received this in the past, it's just incredible to be in that company. The truth is, whatever contributions we've made to Benedictine simply mirror what many of you have been doing for years and what you're currently doing. And our biggest reward is simply to be part of this large Raven family. I will comment, as I looked at the video, we're grateful to everybody that has something to say, and Archbishop Naumann, thank you for what you had to say. It did remind me of an encounter that we had probably 8 or 9 years ago. It was at an event similar to this, the Catholic Charities Snowball, which occurs each year about 4 or 5 weeks in advance of the Scholarship Ball. And we were there early in the evening. The Archbishop came up to Kathy and me, and he was very grateful, saying, thank you so much for what you've done to raise funds for Catholic Charities this evening. And Kathy immediately says, oh, Archbishop, everywhere Jack goes, he's always asking people for money, just constantly asking them for money. And in fact, when they see us coming, if they see Jack, they turn and walk the other way. And the Archbishop, without missing a beat, says, oh, Kathy, that's not why they're turning and walking away from you. My buddy, the Archbishop. There are many people close to us that are here tonight. Just at our table, our son, Chris Newman, as you might imagine, his wife, Andrea, our daughter, Amy Nessinger, who you saw up there, and her husband, Chris, and our daughter, Kate Rutkowski, and her husband, John. We also have a daughter, Molly Sisolak, and her husband, JJ, who live in Milwaukee, that very much wanted to be here with us, but we discouraged them from traveling in the snow belt in late February, so they're with us here in spirit. Then also, 5 of my siblings are here tonight with their spouses, and very glad that you could be here with us. And then there's also a table of longstanding friends that we've known some for many decades, and that's important to us. And as you saw in the video, one of the other organizations that Kathy and I are involved with is the University of Kansas Health System, and there's a table back here with executives from KU Health System, so thank you for being here. And there's so many others of you that we've gotten to know largely through our Benedictine connection. We have a couple of thoughts that we'd like to share with you tonight. I'm going to let Kathy go first, and then I'll come back and share a few of mine.
Thank you. Jack and I love so much of what goes on at Benedictine. We love the many ways Our Lady's honored here, and we love the fact that the college has been consecrated to her. We, too, have made that consecration according to Father Michael Gately's book, 33 Days to Morning Glory. We know he has been on your campus, and many of you have made that consecration too. Our personal experience has shown us that Our Lady always leads us to a deeper relationship with her Son, and she helps us every step of the way. Benedictine College has relied on Our Lady's intercession, and I think it's paid off for the college. We've relied on Our Lady too. We couldn't count the many ways that she's helped us in our lives. I'd like to just tell you about one. Many years ago, when our daughter, Amy, our oldest daughter, who spoke. Now we'll have to get her a really good Christmas present, I suppose. She was going to spend her sophomore year of college in France. And Jack and I were very worried about her health while she was there because she's a type 1 diabetic. What would happen in an emergency? Would she be able to get her insulin and other supplies she needed? Would her accommodations support her care? I began to attend a novena to Our Lady of Perpetual Help every Wednesday in a local parish. I knelt before the famous, iconic picture of Our Lady, and I repeated the words, the beautiful words that they say, and asked Our Lady to provide complete care for Amy. I was pretty faithful to this, and it gave me a lot of peace. That spring, Jack and I went to visit Amy in France, and she took us upstairs in the home where she and a few other students were boarders. When she opened the door to her room, there on the wall hung a picture of Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And I was astounded. I yelled, "Amy, do you know who that is?" And she said, "Yes, Mom, that's Our Lady of Perpetual Help." She said, it's odd. It's the only religious thing these people have in their house. Our Lady took care of Amy for that entire year. But on that day, she showed us her love and care in such a personal way. We know that she will continue to guide and protect Benedictine College as they keep reaching out to her. She's a mother ever ready to help us. Thank you so much, Benedictine, for honoring Jack and I tonight. But more importantly, thank you for so faithfully honoring God and his mother.
Great. As the Archbishop said at Mass tonight, I married well. I know the hour is late and the premium's on brevity, and I will be that. What I wanted to do just with my remarks is give you the perspective of a seasoned board member looking at this college and giving you some perspectives as to how I see that. First, I'd like to talk about who's really responsible for these accomplishments over these 15 years. Secondly, try to point out, as we all talk about how much we love this college, are there some unique characteristics, and I'll at least give you from my perspective what I think they might be. And then at the end, give you a few thoughts about the strategic planning initiative, Transforming Culture in America. So I am very proud to have served on this board for 15 years, and I believe we've been an effective governing body and discharged the duties as you would want us to. But the truth is that all these accomplishments that we've talked about that have occurred over these 15 years really start elsewhere. And from my perspective, they start with the monks and the sisters for their nearly 165 years of sponsorship of this college. It is foundational to the college. It provides a moral compass. I'm reminded of Sister Esther in a board meeting making sure that we're following the gospel message, or Abbot James quoting an element from the Rule of St. Benedict, but their involvement is so important. Then extends to the faculty, and within faculty I would talk about coaches of this campus. I know many of you are here. I got a chance to visit with you, some of you tonight, so thank you for being here tonight, but mostly thank you for being at this college. Obviously, these are the individuals that shape, inspire, instruct, and mentor our students and prepare them for life. Then to the staff of the college throughout. So many people working behind the scenes. We recognize many for what they've done for tonight's event, but just the day in and day out activities. Staff are the ones that keep the trains on time and keep us all to the task. And then it extends very significantly to President Steve Minnis and his cabinet. An incredible group of people for their innovative and far-reaching leadership, determined to make this one of the great Catholic colleges in America. Let us add to that in the person of Amy Minnis, this college has one of the most passionate, dedicated, and effective first ladies in higher education. So for all those people that are really responsible, join me in a round of applause. Many of us are at events like this with some degree of frequency and for very many worthy causes. And not surprisingly, every organization would accentuate their positives and talk about how proud they are of who they are and what they've done. And that's certainly true of us. And yet as I think about this, I think about how truly unique this organization is. And there are certain characteristics that cause me to to come to that conclusion. And the first of those is the commitment to mission and values. We laugh at times, and Steve even made fun of himself in talking about community, faith, and scholarship, but that is at the core of who this organization is. Many organizations, all organizations have mission and values. There are very few that spend the time and attention to those in making key decisions. We see them on the banners on 2nd Street leading up to college. You see them front and center on the website. And I can tell you from my experience with the college, for every key strategic and operational decision, we weigh that according to the mission values of community, faith, and scholarship. A second characteristic is I've had the privilege over my working career and my volunteer career to work with hundreds of organizations. And I'm hard-pressed to find anybody else who combines vision with attention to detail the way this organization does. It's evident in tonight's event, in all the communications that occur with us. I've said to Steve and others before that this is only a $50 million a year organization. While not small, also not a large organization, and yet the way they come across seems like it's much bigger. And I would tell you that combination of vision and precision is evident in curriculum development and execution. It's evident in fundraising, in athletics, in retention and recruitment, in student life and campus ministry, in athletics, and just every aspect of the college. So you take those two, the mission and values, and then vision coupled with attention to detail, and the third unique characteristic has a backdrop to it. And that has to do with a Pew Research study that was done a few years ago that interviewed or surveyed young adults as they left high school and were heading off to college. In that research study, they found that 80% of high school graduates in the U.S. heading off to college indicated a faith life commitment. So that's pretty impressive. I was surprised at that. However, 4 years later, when they leave college, that same study indicated that had dwindled to 20%. So a distressing and precipitous free fall in faith life commitment while at college. Contrast that to Benedictine. Every year we survey our seniors, and consistently each year 90% of our seniors indicate a deepened faith life in their years at Benedictine College. So for all these characteristics, there is no question, there's no doubt that this is a truly unique organization, and I suggest to you that deserves another round of applause. And the final topic is the fact that Steve has alluded to, and we saw a very nice video talking about one of the elements of the strategic plan to transform culture in America. Well, that's a pretty courageous statement, transform culture in America. It is bold, it is needed, and this small private college in Northeast Kansas already has begun and will continue to make a significant impact as they move forward. There are many initiatives that have been begun already, but there's a development of 9 distinctive centers. There's the need to grow our endowment. There's a need to continue to recruit students. There is the need to continue this magnificent campus renaissance that has been occurring. And so as you might imagine, the college has capital needs, and they'll be coming to all of us to ask for our commitment to join them. And as one raven in that group that's being asked, I ask all of us to stop and think about that, and wherever we can make Benedictine as high on our priority list, not only for ourselves and our own philanthropic decisions, but also being willing to introduce others who would resonate with the cause and join in with us. Now, to conclude, to come in for a landing, I'm reminded my father many years ago wanted all of us Newmans to be unafraid of public speaking, and so one time he got me early in my life, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, the chance to speak at a Cub Scout Blue and Gold dinner when he was supposed to be the one speaking. But anyway, he got me to do it, and he told me 3 or 4 things. He said, try to get a laugh at the outset, try to be informative, try to be brief, and ideally at the end, have the crowd, the audience excited, maybe even cheering. So on that last notion of cheering, I'm going to reach back in the archives. I'm going to do something I did 2 years ago at our 5th year reunion. We are together going to do a longstanding cheer of the college called the EIO cheer. Now, many of you will know about that, but many of you will not know about that. When I was on campus my junior and senior year, there weren't many things I could grab onto, but I grabbed onto being the EIO guy from the stands. So what I want you to do here is clear your throats, fill your lungs. All you have to do is repeat after me, or respond to my prompts. It'll be pretty straightforward. And let's raise the roof of the Overland Park Convention Center here. Ready? E-I-E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. E-I-O. 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 R-A-V-V-E-N-S. R-A-V-V-E-N-S. R-A-V. R-A-V. E-N-S. E-N-S. R-A-V-V-E-N-S. R-A-V-V-E-N-S. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Give me an R. R. Give me an A. A. Give me a V. V. Give me an E. V. Give me an N. N. Give me an S. S. What's it spell? Raven. Louder. Raven. One more time. Raven.